Last time I did a video relating to my Dungeons & Dragons campaign, it was about the time Johann intimidated a door and the poor person behind it. Today, we're going further back into that campaign, where our monk died. Yes, you heard that right. Our monk died. Flat out died. We were maybe level 4 at the time, probably even lower level than that. And we just so happened to be on a caravan heading to the Elven Kingdom, as our DM made a world where each race had its kingdom and territory. So again, the cast is Johann, Varis, and Emil our monk, and the dwarf that's in the caravan with us. If I'm not mistaken, his name was Ulfgar? We're traveling, and all of a sudden, we are warned that there are undead blocking the path. We don't know what kind, nor do we really care. But we know that the caravan's going to be stopped by this group of undead. And since most of the folks are common folk, they don't stand a chance. So, being the adventurers we are, and convincing the dwarf, we head to the front of the party, and forward along the path a little ways. And there we find 7 skeletons, several with short swords, several with bows, and among them, a minotaur. So, some things went down, some battle played out, nothing really important. They were just some skeletons, and being mid-ish experienced adventurers, our group was mostly able to hold our own. So much so that Emil, our monk, looked to the dwarf who's had a bit of beef with over the course of our ride, looked him dead in the eyes, and said, "Half-man, watch this." So as Johann and Varis are battling some skeletons, our monk runs up on the Minotaur skeleton. And our monk's elementally attuned, so he chooses to use arguably his strongest attack, which still is his strongest attack, as you'll hopefully find out in later videos like this. Fist of Unbroken Air. DM says the word. Roll to hit. Emil's player rolls, and it goes about as well as you thought in a story called The Monk Dies. He rolls and fails critically. So he goes, he revs up the punch, he throws it misses the Minotaur, and he falls to a knee at the foot of this Minotaur. Now, Emil, as many of you know, monks are squishy, and Emil was no different. So, it just so happened that after missing that punch, it was the Minotaur's turn. So the skeleton Minotaur takes its great axe, attacks once, max damage, attacks twice, max damage, attacks a third time, max damage. Emil died. His HP dropped to 0, and indeed, he was dead for all intents and purposes. Something became painfully clear when the Minotaur stepped on his body to move towards Johann and Varis. Angered, Johann charged. I attacked once, I attacked twice with my action surge, and it did kill the Minotaur. But our monk died. At least, we thought he did. As you see, earlier in the adventure, and on the caravan route, our paladin, being half-elf, and being of a certain persuasion, happened to spot a dryad looking at us through the trees. And this dryad became very friendly with him. They talked and interacted numerous times. He promised to protect the forest for her while we were in it and to make sure that none of the caravan did too much damage. As such, they kept building a friendship over our trip through the woods, and the dryad emerges from the tree, points at Emil, and casts Resurrection. The dead Emil rises to life, utterly confused, as Varis and the Dryad head off to have a bit of, personal time. That's about the end for the story today. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to be awesome.